Are you a veteran or active duty service member looking for more information about what documents are needed and a better understanding of the VA loan pre-approval process? I'm Jason Skinrood, VA loan specialist and United States Air Force veteran. As part of my Know Your Benefits series, I answer your VA loan questions. In this video, I'll cover exactly what documents are needed and provide some insight into the VA loan pre-approval process. Now, to begin, let's talk about what documents that you're going to need to gather for your loan officer as part of that pre-approval process. So the first document that I always ask my clients to gather is their certificate of eligibility. And their certificate of eligibility verifies that they meet the military service requirement to get a VA loan. And the reason why I do that is because not everyone who has served in the military is necessarily eligible for a VA loan. And so I like to establish that with my clients right up front. And there are a couple of ways in which you can get a copy of that for yourself. The most easiest way is to request a copy of that certificate of eligibility through the VA's e-benefits portal. And if you don't want to do that, I can actually go ahead and request that for you through the VA's lender portal. What I would need from you, though, is a completed copy of the VA Form 26-1880 along with your service documents. So that could be your DD-214, your NGB-22, or whatever service component point summary that you have available. Now, obviously, if you're on active duty, you're not going to have a DD-214, so you just go ahead and complete that form and enter in your current service dates. The additional ways you can request that is you can do that by mail, or you can actually walk into your local VA office and request a copy of that, and that'll be provided to you. So once that service eligibility has been established, then you want to gather up your income documents. And so with your income documents, I would need your last 30 days worth of pay stubs, and that would be for you and if your spouse is going to be on the loan, and then if you are planning to add any other income from a second job, you'll want to provide pay stubs from that also. The next item for income documentation will be the last 2 years worth of W-2s. So if you're a salary or a wage earner, you'll need to provide that. And then if you get any sort of pension income or you're a contractor, you'll also want to provide your 1099s if you have those available. If you receive any sort of VA disability, Social Security disability, or Social Security income, you'll also need to provide the current year's worth of award letters in order to give you credit for that income. And then if you happen to be self-employed or you own rental properties or some sort of small business that you want to have income credited towards your application, then you'll need to provide the last 2 years worth of your federal income taxes, and that needs to be all pages and all schedules as part of that. If you plan to put money down or you will be paying your own closing costs, it is a good practice to go ahead and provide the last 60 days worth of bank statements for the account that you'll be providing those down payment or closing costs from. However, it's not necessarily required. It just helps me as a loan officer be able to verify that money up front. So once I have all that information in my possession, I'll go ahead, start an application for you, and enter in all of the information with regards to your address history, your employment, your income, all of that. And then I will go ahead and request a copy of your credit report. And your credit report will help me establish what your current credit scores are, and then also any of your current credit obligations. So if you happen to have any mortgages, car loans, school loans, credit cards, those sorts of things, I can include all that in your application as part of your pre-approval process. So once I've got a copy of your credit report, then I will go ahead and perform the income calculations that the VA has me do for a VA loan. And so I need to determine your residual income and make sure that you meet basic guidelines for that. And the way that I do that is I take your gross income that we've included in your application, subtract out your tax liability, any of your credit liabilities, including the new mortgage payment, and then some other things that the VA has us put in as part of that. And as long as your income exceeds the threshold that's set by the VA based on where the home is that you're buying and your family size, then you meet that basic guideline. An extra step that I always like to take as part of my pre-approval process, and again, I have learned this through personal experience, that just because someone appears to meet the basic guidelines, it doesn't always mean that they will. And so an extra step that I take to help solidify my borrower's pre-approvals is that I will always run your file through an automated underwriting engine, and that could be Fannie Mae's DU or Freddie Mac's LP. And that's just an extra step that helps make sure that you do meet those minimum requirements. And so the desired result that we want to get is an approve eligible for an automated underwriting engine. However, sometimes I do get refer eligibles, which means that your loan application would be subject to a manual underwrite that just places a few more restrictions and requires that the VA approved underwriter go through your file a little bit more detailed. So as long as everything's good with regards to meeting all the basic requirements and we get the desired feedback result from the automated underwriting engine, I would go ahead and issue you a pre-approval letter. Now that pre-approval letter is kind of like your golden ticket to be able to go out and begin looking for a home. That pre-approval letter is good for up to 120 days. However, if your home search takes longer than that 120-day period, it's really easy to actually go ahead and just re-up on your pre-approval. And the way that I do that is that I just go ahead, request updated copies of pay stubs from you for the last 30 days, and then go ahead and pull a new credit report to make sure that everything is still in order with regards to your credit score and there haven't been any material changes to your credit obligations. Now before I end, there is just one other thing that I want to talk about in regards to a pre-approval, and that is the time frame. If you know that you meet the VA credit score requirements that are set by most lenders out there, I am able to get my borrowers a VA loan pre-approval within 24 hours or less. However, if you are unsure of what your credit score is, or you know that you don't meet the minimum requirement for a VA loan, I recommend that you contact a loan officer like me at least 2 to 4 months prior to beginning your home search so that they can hopefully get you credit qualified so that when the time comes for you to begin looking for your home, that you are actually pre-approved at that time. So if you have other questions about what documents are needed or about the VA loan pre-approval process, be sure to ask them in the comments below. Check out my other videos, and if you found this video to be helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and as always, thank you for watching.